Are you a hairstylist always wondering if you are pricing your services correctly? Are you just going off of what your neighbor is charging, or do you actually have a formula and a method? In this video, I am going to show you how I am making the most amount of profit possible and how I price a few of my services. But if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and the bell to be notified every time we post a new video about hair and money. I've been a booth rent hairstylist for almost 15 years, and there are so many things I wish not taught that I wish I would have known sooner. I wished I would have had this pricing strategy and method when I was first starting out, or even halfway through my career. I would have saved so much money and been more confident in my pricing and services. Knowing why I charge what I charge has given me the biggest confidence boost, and I do my best quality work. I do not emotionally discount because I know I'm providing an amazing service with quality products. I realize, though, I do have expenses, just like any other big companies like Redken, Wella, Joico, K18, Olaplex. So I must charge accordingly, just like the big companies do. I want to break down how I price my services so you can feel confident too. So grab a pen and paper because you're going to want to write this formula down. Let's start with booth rent. Booth rent per week divided by the hours you work per week is going to equal how much money you are paying per hour to work. Next will be your product ounces or grams divided by how much it costs. That's going to equal how much it costs per ounce or gram. Next, add how much you pay in booth rent for the time of the service and product costs. Take that service charge and subtract the cost, and that's going to equal how much you are making for that service. After that, take that number, divide that how many hours it takes you, and that's going to equal how much you are making per hour. And finally, the profit. Take the profit divided by the cost of the service, that's going to equal your profit percentage. So that's a lot. Let's do an example and really break this down. If you need to pause this video to get any of your exact figures to follow along, please do so. But we're going to start with booth rent. This is going to be different for everyone, but let's start with your booth rent, how many hours you work per week. Now go to your booking app and see how many hours you are scheduled to work. Take your booth rent and divide it by the amount of hours you work. For example, my booth rent is $300 a week, and I work 35 hours a week. So I will take 300, divide that by 35, and that's going to equal $8.57. This means I pay $8.57 in booth rent per hour to work. Now that we have our booth rent hourly cost, let's pick a service to do. Let's say a regular lived-in maintenance blonding client comes in. A tub of blonde meat lightener is 28.2 ounces, is going to equal $44.43. Blonde meat developer for 33.8 ounces is $10.83. I spend what per ounce? Let's find out how much your lightener is per ounce. You can take the same formula for grams too. Take how much your lightener is, $44.43, divided by how many ounces, 28.02, is equal to $1.58 per ounce of lightener. Now, let's see how much it is for your developer per ounce. Take how much your developer costs, and that's $10.83, divided by how many ounces, 33.8, is going to equal 32 cents per ounce of developer. Blonde meat is 1 to 1.5 ratio for each bowl I mix. I do 1 ounce of lightener and 1.5 ounces of developer. We already have the cost of the lightener, but let's figure out how much it is for my developer for 1.5 ounces. Let's take 32 cents times by 1.5, and that's going to equal 48 cents per ounce of developer. Add $1.58 plus 48 cents, and that's going to equal $2.60 per bowl of lightener. I include 2 bowls in my base price, and then I charge extra if I need more bowls. Toner. Most clients are wanting a root tap and toner, so this is extra cost that we need to account for. Redken Shades EQ is 2 ounces per bottle. It's going to be $6.54. Let's divide $6.54 by 2 ounces. That's going to equal $3.27 per ounce. Processing solution is 33.8 ounces for $7.21. Let's do $7.21 divided by 33.8. That's going to be 21 cents per ounce. I do 1-to-1 ratio with shades, so I would add $3.21 plus 21 cents, and that's going to be $3.48 for 2 ounces. I typically do 3 ounces for a root tap and 3 ounces for a toner. So how much is my root tap and toner? I'm going to take toner $3.48 times it by 1.5, and that's going to equal $5.22. I'm going to do the same for the root tap. $3.48 times by 1.5, and that's going to be $5.22. Now let's add your root tap and toner together. $5.22 plus $5.22, and that's going to equal $10.44 that's costing you in root tap and toner. Before we move on, we want to hear from you. Do you break down your costs? Do you know how much you pay per ounce? Comment below and let's have a little chat. Next, let's move on to foil. I know it may seem insignificant, but every little thing adds up. A box of pop-up foil is 500 sheets and it is $12.99 per box. You will take $12.99 and divide that by 500. That's going to equal 2 cents per foil. I'm not counting my foils, so let's say on average, a blonding service, you use 50 foils. We will take 50 times by 2 cents, and that's going to equal $1 in foils. So how much did it cost you to do your blonding maintenance service? Let's start adding everything up. Booth rent for 3 hours is $8.57 times by 3. That's going to equal $25.71. Lightener and developer is going to equal $4.12. A root tap in your toner is $10.44. Foil, $1. That service cost you $41.27 to perform. Now the big question is, how much profit did I make? Take how much you charge. For me, it's going to be $250 minus your cost, and that's $41.27, and that's going to equal $208.73 is my profit. How much did you make per hour? It takes me 3 hours to do the service, so take $208.73 divided by the hours it took. So for me, 3. So I made $69.58 per hour. Let's talk about profit percentage. Take your profit and divide it by your service cost. $208.73 divided by 250, and that's going to equal 83%. I always like to stay above the 60% profit margin. I have each services broken down on my worksheet in my locker, so I know exactly how much I should be charging each client. If I use extra bowls of lightener or toner or root tap, I'm charging accordingly. If you go to Chipotle and you order guac, best believe they're going to be charging you extra, and you should be too. We discuss all of these pricing strategies in our online community of like-minded stylists and beauty professionals. If you are interested in learning more, please click the link below and check out our website. Before you go, be sure to check out this video on 10 things I wish I would have known starting as a booth rent hairstylist.